Hello everyone, my name is Luis, and in this video I'm gonna show you how to create your studio award template for your class. So let's begin. First things first, you will need to log into your ePortfolio account, and remember you need to use your staff account. Remember, a staff account, not your student account. Once you log in, it's gonna take you to the home page, as you can see here. If you don't see the home page, you can just go to the left side of your screen and you can see the home icon. You can just click it and it's gonna show you something like this. Now in this case, you can see by default in my ePortfolio, I already create 4 different templates for 4 different classes. So I'm gonna show you how it should look yours at the end. So for example, I'm gonna show you this one that I created the last semester, so you can have a better idea how it should look your studio award template. So for example, this is mine. This was for engineering. So you can see that it's gonna show you 3 different tabs or 3 different pages. One is the home page, the other one is studio award plans, and the third one is resources. So now, as you can see, you can scroll down and then you will be able to see the home page, which pretty much is your quotation, the quote. Then you will see a description, a brief description of the class, your name, then a picture and a short description about you and the biography. And make sure that you have this on time so you don't have to just do it in the moment. Just make sure you're having a Microsoft Word on a Google Drive so you can just copy and paste it. Then in the third page is a studio award plan. So basically you will see something different once I show you how to create your studio award template. So far you can see that I have a huge list of the 12 classes for the semester for this specific class for the engineering. Remember, you need to create each ePortfolio for each class. So you have 4 classes in this semester that you're gonna teach. You will have to have 4 different templates. It's not one for all of them. So now, as you can see here, I created a list from class 1, 2, 3, 4 until 12. If you use a template, it's not gonna show you like this. It's gonna show you by month and a year, which is gonna be kinda different. You will have the option to just leave it like that, or you can just change it as I did it myself. I chose this way because it's easier for me and also for the students to find it. But as I said, once I show you how to create your ePortfolio, it's gonna look something different, and then you will be able to choose either you keep it like that or you do it as I did it. And the resources, this is pretty much for the students. You don't need to use it, you don't need to change anything or edit it, so just leave it like that. And that's pretty much what you need to have for your studio award template. As I said, just make sure you have the biography on time before you do the ePortfolio, and also you have a picture. So let's create a new studio award template. I'm gonna click the blue plus icon to create a studio award template, as you can see in the right side. And make sure that you have the information of all the classes. What I mean is that you should have the name of the class, the number of the class, and the 5-digit code. So I'm just gonna click the blue plus icon over here. Once I click it, then you can see that I need to write a title. So I'm just gonna use the same title that I used for one of my previous classes in the last semester. So I'm just gonna type ECF 90.305. Remember, this is an example, so you're gonna have a different name for the class, then hyphen, first year seminar, just the initials, and the 5-digit code. So in this case, I'm gonna type a random 5-digit code. And remember, this is the most important number in your class. And if you ask why, you wonder why it's really important, because this code is gonna be used for the students and yourself to create the whole class. What I mean by that is that everyone will have access to this studio award template as long as you keep this 5-digit code in the setting that I'm gonna show you later. Remember, it's really important, and also you will need to share it with the students at some point in your first class. You're gonna need to share it so they can copy that code in their ePortfolio and everyone can have access to the whole ePortfolio. Okay, so just keep that in mind, it's really important. So now you have already typed that the title of the portfolio for the Studio Award template of this class, which is in this case engineering. Then I'm gonna go to search for template and I'm gonna type Studio Award. And then you will see different templates that you can use. However, not all of them you can use it. It's gonna depend of the decision of your supervisor. So you need to ask to your supervisor which template do you need to use for the current semester. Okay, it's really important that you ask that, because based on that you will be able to choose the right template. Not all of them are gonna be the same one. There are gonna be some small changes, and you see so many of them is because they keep updating one over one, and pretty much some of them are just kind of like the old version, but not so different. From my perspective, it's not so different, but just one more time, keep that in mind that you need to ask to your supervisor which template do you need to use. They will tell you what is the name of that template. So for in this case, I'm gonna use the Studio Award Portfolio 2021 template. Okay, I'm gonna click it. For some reason I can see two, but just pick one of them. And then you can also have the option to have a preview. So I'm gonna click preview. This doesn't mean that I'm gonna create the portfolio right away. It's just gonna show me how it's gonna look. So as you can see here, this is pretty much what I showed you before, as you remember mine. But in this case, it's empty. Okay. So now I'm just gonna click in the top right corner, as you can see in my screen, the X icon. I can close it, and then one more time I'm gonna click Studio Award Portfolio for 2021 template for this current semester 2021. As I mentioned one more time, it's really important that I need to keep remind you that you need to ask to your supervisor which template you should use. So now I'm gonna create by clicking the create button. And now you will need to wait until your Studio Award template is created. This can take more than 5 minutes sometimes, and if it lasts longer, you will see a message over here in yellow letters that is taking longer than expected. Sometimes you will see it. That can mean that your internet is a little slow, or probably so many people is creating an e-portfolio at the same time. You see? The creation process is taking longer than expected to complete. That means that there are other people who is creating e-portfolios at the same time. So we can just wait. You don't see that your e-portfolio has been created after 5 or 10 minutes. Don't worry, you can just click the refresh button or reload button. You can see it's in the top left corner. Or you can just log out and log in again. So one more, and there will be ready. Okay, so I'm pretty sure it has created. I just need to wait. There you go. So now we have the Studio Award template as a scratch. You will need to edit every single section. We can begin from the top. It says typing course title here. So I'm gonna click the lock icon over here. Now it's unlocked, and then I'm gonna double click, and you see that the pen icon is blue. That means that you can edit. So I'm just gonna type ECF 90.305 because that is the code for the class. The name of the class. I'm just gonna copy one more time the whole thing because I'm gonna need it for the rest of the e-portfolio. For example, over here, first year seminar 4 is blank, so I need to change it. So I'm gonna click the year icon, then click section options in the left side, and then you can see first year seminar 4, and you're gonna delete the line. Then I paste it, and there you go. First year seminar for ECF 90.305. Sorry. Then you will have this red rectangle, so you will need to type your quote. Before I do that, I'm just gonna keep writing the name of the class over here because I already have it copied. I'm gonna paste it, as you can see here, in the welcome to first year seminar. I'm gonna do the same thing over here, type this simply here. So I'm gonna paste it one more time. There you go. And type discipline here, so I'm gonna do it the same thing. I'm just gonna type it so I can keep the red letters. If you just delete everything, it's gonna be black. So just try to write it. There you go. So now let's go back to the code. So I'm just gonna copy my quote from the last semester. Then I'm gonna go to my new e-portfolio and I'm gonna paste it. So as you can see here, I pasted. You can make some changes. You can see it's black, so you can just make it white as I did it here. Oh no, it's black. But I mean, you can just change the color. You can just put it in the middle. Every single thing you can just make changes. When you double click, you will see different settings that you can change it. For example, I'm gonna select everything and I'm gonna change the color. I'm gonna select white and let me see, there you go, now it's white. You can just make the letters bigger, you can just put it in the middle, it's up to you. You can just figure it out yourself, just play with the settings. And don't forget over here that you need to change the name of the Student Success Mentor. I'm gonna change mine, Luis de la Cruz Javi. Is happy. Okay, so now I need to as well copy this because I'm gonna need it for here, because you need to change for the biography. So I'm gonna click the year icon. I'm gonna click the year icon because I need to go to module options over here in the left side, and then you're gonna change it with your name, and there you go. You can see mine now. Luis de la Cruz Javi biography. As I mentioned, at this point you should have your whole biography ready, so you can just copy everything. So I'm just gonna copy mine that I have over here. I'm gonna go to this new Studio Award template, and there you go. I just paste it. Now the picture. One more time, you will need to go to the pen icon, replace this item, upload file, select files to upload, and I'm gonna choose mine. I have it over here, SSM, picture number 1, there you go. I'm gonna select that one. Then you need to upload it. It's gonna take probably a little more time in your picture has so much space. It's gonna depend. And ready, now it's uploaded. So now it's gonna show you. Sometimes it's gonna take some time. Now how to change this caption over here? Well, you have the option when you click the pen icon, it says edit caption. So I'm gonna type my name. I'm just gonna type it, and once you have it, then you can just change as well the hobbies. You can change as well you can change your LaGuardia email account, because as you can see here, you need to change it. So I'm just gonna change first my hobby, traveling. I love traveling. And you need to change this here. Let me see if I can change it with, there you go. Yeah, so L de la Cruz Javi, and then pretty much that's what you need to do. Then I have my Studio Award template ready. So now for the Studio Award plans, you can see that, as I mentioned, it looks different. It looks different from mine, what I created over here. Why? And as I explained you at the beginning, is because I make some changes. It's totally to you. You want to keep it like that, you can just make it in order as I did it here. The reason that I did it in this way, I explained you, is because I can have the list of class number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Was if I keep it like that, you will need to change here class 1, 2, 3, then you go over here 4, 5, 6, 7, and then you go like that. I prefer it just to keep one entire list. But as I mentioned, it's up to you, you wanna keep it like that. I'm gonna still show you how can you make changes. Just you're gonna click over here, the lock icon again, then the pen icon over here in the red rectangle. Let me do it one more time. If I'm going too fast, you can just go back and forth. You can even pause the video. So I'm gonna click the pen icon, and then under September 2021, you can see that it says date topic. So you wanna keep it in this way, you can just type class number 1, and then you need to repeat the same thing over here, but with class number 2, class number 3, and then you continue with class number 4 over here, and then you can just save it. And then you will be able to see class number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you can continue. This is by default. How can you create your classes? However, as I mentioned, you can do it in a different way. So my way is just, I'm gonna delete these subclasses over here below September 21. I'm gonna delete it. And the way that I usually do is, as I said, class number 1, then class number 2, and then you can continue. So I'm gonna delete these subpages. How do you know that it's subpages? Because it's not in below the same level. You can see that class number 4 is more to the right side instead of in the same vertical line. So I'm gonna delete it. When you see that it's not in the same line, that means that it's a different page. So you can see below Studio Work Plans, I have class number 1, 2, 3, and then I'm gonna continue. You wanna continue, you can just press enter, and then you continue class number 4, and I'm gonna delete the other sub pages. There you go. You can see class number 1, 2, 3, 4 is in the same level. It's in the same vertical line. It's not in the right side. I'm gonna, well, I mean, I can continue delete these pages. There we go. And then let me change this. Class number 5. And then you press enter, as I mentioned, you can just create new pages. Class number 6 until class number 12. I'm just gonna save it so you can have an idea how it's gonna look. So you delete some pages, it's gonna show you this. So you need to confirm by typing delete. There you go. It has to be lowercase, as you can see here. It's not uppercase and lowercase. So then I click yes, delete it. It's saving changes. And there we go. So once I go to Studio Work Plans, you can see class number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And this is the second option that you have to make sure to create your classes. So once you have class number 1, you can just click it, and then it's gonna show you how it's gonna look that page. In this case, I'm just gonna move on with how to publish pages, which is pretty important because based on that, your students will have access to this Studio Work template. So you can see the 3 horizontal lines in the top right corner. I'm gonna click it, then it says settings, but also says publish pages. Always use the publish pages option. Never use the publish this page. Publish this page is singular, that means that only one page. And you not even publish it properly. So always use the second option that it says publish page. You click it, then you click publish, and then you keep the title, you keep the URL. I mean, you can still change it, but you don't need it. And then it says permissions to share. So you're gonna click edit and select private within CUNY LaGuardia Community College. Then you scroll down, and here it says Luis de la Cruz Have is admin, and it lets you edit. So when you click edit, you can type over here the 5 digits code that I told you from the beginning that is really important. And you don't even need to look at your Excel sheet where it shows you the 5-digit code, because I already told you that you need to type it in the title. So let's say that your 4-digit codes in this case, in this example, is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm going to type 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then you can see that it's looking for that class over here. So once you type the 5-digit code, it's going to show you the class here. But I didn't show me the name of the professor, because this 5-digit code, it doesn't exist. It's just a random number code. But once you have the 5-digit official code and you type it over here, it's gonna show you the class, the Studio Our Lab class. So once you see it, you click it, and then you will see below your name, you're gonna see the Studio Our Lab. Once you see it, it has to have the option of viewer. You are gonna still be the admin. Remember, you have to be the admin. And once you have your name and your class, you click Save Settings. For the moment, I'm just gonna click Save Settings because in my case, I didn't have a class assigned yet. It's gonna take some time. Probably it's gonna be your case as well. You need to wait until sometimes the first day of the classes to have the 5-digit code. So it's gonna take some time. Wait for your 5-digit code in your first day of classes, or you can just add it later. So I'm just gonna use the second option, that I'm gonna add it later. For the moment, I'm just gonna click Save Settings. Once I click Save Settings, it says has been published, and there you go, you have it. So now this Studio Our template, you will need to copy the link and share it with your class, so they can have access and see your Studio Our template for that specific class. So I'm gonna show you an example from one that I created before. It says Studio Our Plans, meeting 1. It should be class, but for some reason I decided to write meeting. And then here you can just upload agendas, picture files, YouTube videos, or any other videos you want to upload. I don't recommend to upload videos. It's so much better you upload just the link of the YouTube video, because if you upload a video, it's gonna take too much space. It's gonna be difficult for the students to get access. Just upload YouTube videos. It's so much easier. And the link, only use the link. So one more time, as you can see an example, this is my agenda. You can add PowerPoints, Microsoft Word, PDFs, pictures, any other files, so the students can have access to it. So for example, for the first classes, write a professional email. They can see the agenda, and that's pretty much for this specific topic, the Studio Our template. Just remember that you need to always publish pages if you make any change, and once you have your 5-digit code, you can go to Settings and add it over here by clicking Edit. And then you save settings, and then your student will have access to this e-portfolio. Okay, keep that in mind because it's really important, the 5-digit code. Without the 5-digit code, your students will be lost. They need the 5-digit code. So just keep that in mind. And let me go back to the home page just to finish and wrap up everything. I'm gonna go here. So if you have any confusion about this specific pages, just make sure that you have the time to play with it. For example, once I created the pages, if I click, for example, class number 2, it doesn't show me anything. Why? Well, that is kinda confusing. And the reason is because you need to make changes. For some reason, I guess the creator of this template didn't make it as a page. It was just a heading. So when you see, for example, you can see the hand. You can see the hand. That means that you can click it. If you don't see the hand, you can see only the arrow. That means that you cannot click it. So how can you make it as a page? Well, you need to go to the pages over here. You click the pen icon, and this is something that you can learn about how to create studio award templates. So you're gonna click for class number 1, you're gonna click the year icon, and everything has to be blank. Then I'm gonna move on to the second class, and then you see this check. So you need to uncheck it, or you need to click to delete the check, and then you move to class number 3, number 4. Everything has to be blank. So once I click save, that means that I can click it. You can see, now I can click it. Now there is no content in this section. How can you create a content? Well, it's not too difficult. You can just click add content. You don't need a specific template. I mean, you can use a template as long as you know exactly that your supervisor has created a template for every single class. But what you can do is just start adding content. So that means that you can start adding your files. So let's say that you have the agenda, so you're gonna click file, upload file, and then you upload the agenda. Once you upload the agenda, it's gonna show you here the document, as you can see over here. Yeah, this one. You can change the background, but as I said, just take your time because I don't want to make this video so much long. So it's already so long, the video, that I mean, you can still play with the options to figure out how to make those changes. Until this point, just make sure that you publish pages, and that's pretty much what you need to do and know about the studio award template for your class.